What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about is the Fayetteville North Carolina market finally cooling down.
We're gonna cool down.
We're going to talk about the market slowing down just a little bit, what's causing a slowdown, and is it a good time to buy or sell still? As you can see, houses that are between 100 and 200,000 are on the market for about 4 days now. If they're over 200, between 200 and 250, they're on the market for about 5 days. From 250 to 350, we're back down to 4 days again. 350 to 400,000 is 9 days, which is really kind of strange because the next number is 400,000 and above, and it's up to 5 days. So what is causing this market cool down? Well, one of the first things is the interest rates have gone back up. They're back up now to 5.5%.
Interest rates go up.
And another added factor, I believe, is that just buyers were getting beat up from the market being so tough. It's hard to compete with other offers when all you can offer is so much due diligence money, so much earnest money, and so much of an appraisal gap that when other people are coming in, they've got tons of money and they're able to go above and beyond and ask over asking price and pay an appraisal gap if it's needed. And just a personal story, just last month I had two potential buyers that told me they're not going to look any further and that they're going to rent for another 6 months to a year and see what happens in the market. And with this slight change in the market, I've also noticed that homes are on the market, just from viewing, homes are on the market just a little bit longer. I know I just showed the average, which isn't much. We're talking 2 to 3 days of four, now to about 4 to 5 days, it looks like. So another day or two, but just showing homes to people, and they're having more time to think about it, sleep on it, and see if they really want to purchase this home, if this is their dream home. So if you're still thinking of buying a home, I think if you're looking, even with this cooling down period, we still are in a seller's market. We have not left that by any means. Homeowners are now, instead of getting 20 or 30 offers on homes on average, they're getting about 5 to 7, maybe even 10 offers on homes. What I see buyers are looking at homes between 100,000 to 350,000. That's a good medium-sized range of where you're still going to see some competition. Maybe 5 to 7 offers on homes, not as many as we used to, but I think anybody looking over almost 400, 351,000 up to $1 million, I think the competition there is not going to be as tough or strong. I don't believe it is from what I've seen. So the next question I get asked a lot, two of the next questions I get asked a lot.
Two questions.
Are how high the interest rate's going to go and when will the prices start to drop? Well, I don't see the interest rates falling down. If anything, we've been told by the Federal Reserve that's going to keep going up. It might get up to about 6% by the end of the year, maybe even sooner. Home prices are not dropping at this time. They're still rising, and we just don't see that stopping right now, or even, I don't think it's going to stop. If anything, that's going to slow down just a little bit. So your house will appreciate instead of at 10-12% a year as it has been happening. It may appreciate for about 5 to 7%. Typically, a house appreciates 2 to 3% every year. So I just see it going to about 5 or 7%. But of course, I can't see into the future. In my last video, I talked about, is the market going to crash in Fayetteville, North Carolina? If you haven't seen that video, please check it out. It'd be up there in that corner, I believe. So check that video out. But in a video, I said I don't think the market's going to crash. What I think is going to happen is we're going to get back to a balanced market. Typically, on average, in our MLS, we want at least 3,500 to about 4,000 active homes on the market. That there is a balanced market where you want a lot of inventory. And I checked it this morning, May 23rd of 2022, and right now we have 711 active homes on the market.
Interesting.
Just last month, we were at 500 homes. So we've increased 200 homes in just a month, which is great. This needed to happen, but we are nowhere near 3,500. Do I think we'll get there? Of course, eventually we will get there. I think it may take up to a good year before we get there. So it's still a competitive market, but with inventory still being so low, I don't see the prices dropping. Obviously, with supply and demand, the supply is not there, but the demand is. So it's got to balance out. And, people are talking about a market crash, and it's just not going to happen, I don't believe, because it's got to balance out first. And it's nowhere near that at this time. So is it a great time to still buy? I think it is. I know interest rates are up. Obviously, we went from 3.5 to 5.5. It may be even higher at the time of this video, but that's less competition that you're going to have. Like I mentioned earlier, you're talking about, instead of 20 to 30 bids, you maybe have up to 5 to 10 bids. Still there, but it beats trying to beat out 29 other people. You only have to beat out 9 other people, possibly. I think it's going to be less due diligence money, less earnest money. And if you have an appraisal gap, hopefully it'll be less or none at all. And I'll tell you one of our personal stories again. I had a listing, it's actually pending now, but I had a listing in Hope Mills, which is one of the surrounding towns near Fayetteville. Nice 3-bedroom home, 2 stories on a golf course. We had it listed around $269, and it was on the market for about a week and only had 3 showings. After a week, it finally went under contract, 1 offer, and I won't tell you it's still pending right at this time, but I will tell you that definitely the buyers got a great deal, and they were the only offer that came in. So Hope Mills is an area that people are wanting to move to. I think it was a good medium-priced home, and I was just very surprised that we didn't get more showings and more than 1 offer.
Did not see that coming.
And another story, I had 2 buyers just a couple weeks ago. One buyer was able to put an offer on a home that was about $320,000. He only had to bring $4,000 in due diligence, no appraisal gap, and no earnest money, which is a nice, gorgeous house. And in a market maybe a month ago, this might have been different. Another buyer they looked at a house about $170,000. No offers. They only offered $500 in due diligence and $1,000 in earnest money. No appraisal gap, but they did pay their own closing costs. So again, the house was on the market for about 4 days, and we were the only offer. So definitely, I do see a change. So if you're thinking about buying, you're worried about the interest rate, definitely talk to your lender and have them do the numbers for you. You may have been pre-approved before for $300,000, but with this interest rate going up to 2 points, it could have changed. You may have to start looking at houses that are $20,000 or $30,000 cheaper if you got a 30-year mortgage. So if you're a seller and you're thinking about selling your home and you're wondering, is it still a market to sell your home? Absolutely. Anytime you have people competing in your home, it's still a great. If you're trying to get those multiple offers, definitely, if you can, fix up your house if it needs some fixing up. If there's some rotten wood or a deck that needs replaced, it needs maybe a good pressure washing, get rid of all that mold and mildew, maybe new fresh paint job. The old saying of first impressions are last longest. That's definitely true, because if they're looking at multiple homes, now you want them to pick your home. Of course, if you're trying to sell it. Of course, we live in a military town, so predominantly we're going to have VA appraisers and VA loans. So definitely, if you're a seller, you know what is going to be an issue. If you don't like it and it worries you, then maybe you should get it fixed. Because the last thing you want is someone to bypass your home because something they saw that's an eyesore. And of course, with this market cool down, this demand cool down is what I like to call it. It's because of the interest rates and just buyers tired of getting beat out for offers. I don't see it being a crash. I see this being a shift in the market, which is what we needed. If you enjoyed this video, check out these other videos I have where I'm talking about the market crashing, and this other video talks about investing in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hope to see you guys in the next video.